So then I meet you in live broadcasting.
And it was... Yeah. They called me Dozer because not that I was bulldozing, I was bulldozed. Certified drone pilot back there. We also got...
Give him his credit. Give him his credit. Give him my
credit. Not that I'm like, oh, speed running CTE. Let me just get punched in the head. Boom, boom, boom. Trying to break down my door. And I just start screaming like...
If you made it this far in the podcast, you're just like, yeah, these
What's up,
dumbasses. All right, welcome back to the Jordan Whitrock Show. Today we have a guest. It's someone I've got the opportunity to spend a lot of time, whether it be shooting hoops or in class or on set or film. He is the executive producer of The Combat Zone. He's a three-point slinger, and he's from Chicago, so we've got a little bit of odds between Packers and Bears. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Jack Gold.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, and, I had to represent the Bears
You know what's funny? I was like, I'm going to say the Bears. I looked at your sweatshirt, obviously, but, I didn't process it until after I said it. I looked over, I'm like, this guy.
Always.
Always
goal. Representing.
How you feeling about that team next year?
Hey, you know what? It's a new year.
Yeah.
We're going to win. We're going to be the Super Bowl champs.
Okay.
New coach,
all
new
right.
O-line.
And then realistically, how do you feel?
9-7. If we could go 9-7, that would be really
That
cool.
is the Super Bowl run. Wait. Okay, yeah, that's right, because you got Caleb as your new young quarterback. Did you like him last season?
I like him. He's, I wasn't the biggest fan of him in college, but
okay.
He come to Chicago. You're one of my boys now. Justin Fields,
what did you not
I
like
still
about
love
him in Chicago?
I love him in Chicago. In college, I just think he was... Not that I don't think emotions are good, but I think he was overly emotional and was too into the press. Like he would react to it too often, and I think he's honed that.
Okay, yeah. So, and are they beefing up their offensive line or no?
Huge.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought I heard something about them. Whether it be just getting trade offers or picking up free agents.
We got four-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time Pro Bowler. Joe Tooney.
Okay.
We got Drew Dahlman as our new center.
Okay.
We got Jonah Jackson, Pro Bowler from the Detroit Lions, rejoining Ben Johnson. Life's looking good right now.
That's right, because you got the new head coach. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. How did you? Okay, wait. Do you remember his first talk that he had with all the people when he walked into the building?
I do.
Okay, what were your thoughts on that? Because people were not destroying him, but being like, oh, that was so whatever lame or not inspirational. And I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm like, it's a new coach. What are you gonna do?
I think when you're just in a new place that you've never been.
Yeah.
And
he's been there.
Now he
has
been.
Well, he's been there a lot. He's coached the Lions.
Hey,
now.
He's
seen 2 years. Probably beat them twice too.
It beat us 4 times, I think, but no big deal. But he came in. I think that was just sprung on him. They were all just in the room, and he was like, "Hey." And then the actual first press conference, he just dunked on Matt LaFleur and was ready to go, and he reeled it back in.
Bro, I'm not feeling good about the Packers, but just in the sense of I don't feel like we got better than what we were last year.
You guys are just
I think besides health, I think if we can keep health, maybe we are better than whatever. But we have Alex back on the tech board. He's running it all.
How's it going?
Alex, are you a Packers fan?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I assumed. What are your thoughts on the Packers' upcoming season? Dude, they haven't picked up. I'm gonna cut you off. literally 2 days ago, I looked. I'm like, as I'm hearing all these big names being traded, I'm like, have the Packers done anything? Absolutely nothing. So, Alex, what are your thoughts on all that?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't pay enough attention to give a good enough I don't know, thought on it.
Yeah. Okay, you know what's funny is today I was on YouTube, obviously, YouTube frog. But Corey Sparks or whatever, he put his first video. He does a YouTube channel for fantasy football, so go check him out. Armchair Sports, Armchair Football. I feel so bad now. But anyway, I saw he put his first post or whatever, so I commented. I was like, he's back. But yeah, no, it's good. All right, okay. So I want to get some good storytelling. You know what I'm saying? You have so many good stories. Now, I mean, you don't have to share them all, but I also just want to know a little bit of about your past, because I feel like I didn't did you go to a different school before you came to Oshkosh, or just I never saw you until the last year of me being at Oshkosh? So what's your story of how you went to college, decided to go to RTF because you're an RTF major like myself and whatnot.
Yeah. No, so basically what happened was I was 2020 grad, COVID year.
Yep.
Blank year. Don't want to get, YouTube hates that word. But I was originally committed to go to Ole Miss to be a journalism major.
What? I did not know this.
Yeah, I was originally going to Ole
crazy.
Miss.
Okay.
And
wait. Why Ole Miss?
I went down
because that's very different than where you ended up.
Super different. And but I randomly applied, and the journalism head there went to my high school like 40 years prior.
Let's go.
And he sent me like a personal message like, "Hey, I saw you're from here. Like, you should come down. I'll take care of you, all this stuff." And I was like, "Awesome."
Sick.
Went down to see like a football game and visit, and I was like, "Oh, this is this is awesome." And then was committed. And just before that, one of my good friends, she played soccer here. She was like, check out Oshkosh. So I went on a visit up here. I saw it. I was like, oh, pretty cool. Then I went to Ole Miss, and I was like, whoa. And then 2 weeks before the C word happened, basically Ole Miss sent out an email being like, if you get COVID, you have to go home for 10 of the 16 weeks. Like, whenever you get it, you have to go home for 10 weeks. And that would have cost crazy. It was crazy. I think it was just because it was the first semester back from all of the craziness.
But so this would have been
July
of 2020.
July of 2020.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. So then with that ultimatum being pushed on me, I was like, it's a lot of money. It's a pretty far
out of curiosity,
away.
how much is it to go? And this would have been like four years ago.
I think it was $22,000 a semester. So basically,
for an undergrad,
a whole year would have been Oshkosh and then Oshkosh grad school. Like it was crazy. But so luckily, I lived right by, like literally one stoplight away from a really good community college.
Yep.
That if you basically, I think it was you couldn't miss more than 5 days of school. I was always there.
Yeah.
And got a 2.0 GPA.
Okay.
Heck yeah. And our school had, shout out Fremd High School, they had the Fremd 50.
Okay.
So if you decided to do zero work the entire semester, they had to give you a 50%. So then on your final, if you just got like a B, you passed.
Oh, like high school or whatever?
Yeah, high school. So with the 2.0...
Did you have to utilize that a couple times?
Maybe. But the 2.0 was achievable. It was attainable.
Yeah.
So then with that ultimatum, I was like, I'll just go to Harper for 2 years.
Yeah,
and figure it out. I worked a ton. Worked at Arlington Racetrack where the Bears are trying to move to.
Okay.
Worked at some fun restaurants like the Lucky Monk and the Tipsy Cow.
Huh.
And then...
Did you like that kind of like food service, or you were like,
I liked it. It was great money, and I like talking to people. I feel like that's the only... I'm not very technical with it, you know?
But who could get mad at a guy who's friends with everyone?
Hey, I'm trying. But with going to halfway into going to Harper, 1 year in, my family ended up moving to Madison. So then I went fully online and moved to Madison for a year. And then after being in Madison for a year, I was like, it's time to get out of here, and came to the original visit, Oshkosh.
Wait. What family moved to Madison? I thought you had family in Illinois. Or is it...
So they moved back. So my mom moved...
Was it like a work thing?
Yeah. So my mom moved to Madison February of 22 and moved back to our exact same house July of 23.
That's like sold the house.
We were renting. No one rented it while we were gone. We came back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It worked out really nice.
I was going to say, I'm like, that's gotta... There was someone that was saying that like... Their stepdad or whatever like sold the property, and it was just like, hey, I don't need the property anymore. Sold it, and then to like his friend, and then like 10 years later like bought the same property back, and I'm like, oh, like, do you think you got like the friend discount, or if it was like, dude, the property's valued at this because of inflation or whatever? I think you know what I'm saying.
It should have been the friend discount. You know, they gave it to you, you give it back.
But anyway, yeah, that's that. Okay. So then. You're like, I'm getting out of Madison. Where am I going to school? Which leads you to...
Here, this was the only school I applied to.
Okay.
While in Madison, I'm like, I've gotten in before.
Yep.
I'll get in again.
Okay.
I'll come here. I know two people. That's enough.
Were you going for journalism off the bat?
So, yeah. So, I was a journalism major through and through.
Okay.
And then I showed up here, and they were like, you're an RTFer. And I was just like, okay.
Wow.
And from that point on...
Wait. Don't they have a journalism?
They do. So it was for AMP. And when I came in, they didn't specify what was what. So I think I just randomly was like, I guess I'll do this one with the TV in it. And then as 2.5 years later, I'm like,
Dude,
I
that's
guess.
okay. If you
this is
become
my
famous or
major.
something like that, that's gonna be like the greatest coincidence story. Like, imagine if you would have just been journalism.
I would probably still be doing I would be doing the same stuff, but far less of it.
Do you think who would have told you though about it? Did you have a lot of friends with like RTF? Or
I knew 2 people here when I moved up, and it was the soccer player who was a business major
Yep.
and a baseball player who I don't know what he was.
Yeah. Dude, so that's like what I think about too sometimes is like for what? Okay, so I auditioned for a play. It was already precasted because there was only 4 actors in it, and they like just took upperclassmen and like my freshman year. So it was like I knew I wasn't gonna get in, but I was like, oh, I might as well like get the directors used to seeing my face, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. So then I ran Lightboard, but then because I was like, oh, like didn't get that. I don't know how I heard about it, but I heard there was a cappella auditions, and I was like, well, I've already been denied once. Like it's not gonna hurt to do it again, you know? And got it, and it was like half of my friend group through college were music majors and stuff.
Okay.
And it's like through the music, through choir, and then ironically choir was what got me back into band because I played band all the way through high school and then didn't do it my freshman year. Played it again sophomore
What
year.
instrument did you play?
Trumpet.
Cool.
So, but anyway, so it was like it's weird how stuff like that happens that like just leads you to where, you know, it's like God's way of being like, all right, no, like this is where I want you to be. You're not gonna know how you got in there or why you're there, but like there's something's gonna happen. Like, don't worry, I got it planned out for you.
100%.
You know?
My mom, since I was 5 years old
Yeah.
till now, like until I was conscious, basically, is
Yeah.
just like, no matter what happens, everything works out how it's supposed to. Like,
No, which is
just randomly, it's
ironic.
like, poof, you're supposed to go that way. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I love RTF. It's great.
Okay, so you're doing RTF stuff, and then you take live broadcasting, right?
I do, yeah.
With me, I'm in that class too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the first time
It might
Yes.
have been. It was either that or practicum.
No, I didn't take practicum till like my last semester.
Yeah, it must have been live.
So it would have been live because you weren't in my narrative, right?
No,
Yeah. So then I meet you in live broadcasting.
and it was.
Yeah, I know. I remember because at that point, was that senior year?
Junior.
No.
It was either.
Was it no spring semester of my senior year?
Yes.
Because I had one more semester in the fall. It's funny because like at that point I really didn't know a lot of RTF because I just did a lot of theater stuff, and then it was like, well, I gotta take some of these upper level class. So it's like all these people I would have met like freshman, sophomore year, didn't see them again until senior year
way
because
later.
when we're all taking classes together or whatever. But I remember senior, I'm like I feel bad. Like, how do I not know this guy? So then it's funny to hear your story of like, well, I came like a year later.
Yeah, I think my first semester here was February of 23.
Oh, okay.
So then I had like 1 year of like being a hermit and just trying to meet people and doing stuff. Only knowing the sports people, basically, like only knowing Dylan and Andy. Shout out the Step Bros, but but other than that, like the past year, maybe 14, 16 months,
Okay.
I've been doing a lot more film related stuff, meeting a lot of film related people. I'm like, oh, these are like my favorite people up here. They're great. Not that I don't love the sports people, but I'm just like I was missing out on all these lovely people.
That's what I feel like. Radio is my like I was heavy into radio like my freshman sophomore year. Like I was assistant producer to the whole radio station, and then I was like, why am I doing this? You know, I was like I don't really see myself, ironically don't see myself in radio. I was like, I see myself in TV. It's with a camera. No.
Yeah, we're close enough. This is TV.
But
this goes on the TV.
Exactly. But anyway, so it's just ironic how like things work out or whatever. Okay, so that live broadcasting is what sets your show up, right?
Yeah, so
that's
during that class we had like a midterm or a final.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We had to do a 30-minute live show, and me and my partner DH, he's the man.
Yep.
We did a show called The Graps, and luckily our professor,
Yep.
she loves WWE. I love MMA.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that later.
Yeah, this is a precursor. I love MMA, and it's like it consumes 95% of my brain. Like if someone starts talking to me,
Living rent
that's
free for
all.
sure.
That's all. That's all that's in there. But because of the show and our professor loving WWE, we did like a mix of the two.
Okay.
And she liked it and asked us to pitch it the next semester, and we pitched it, and it has been my favorite part of Oshkosh.
So you've been doing it for a year?
Yeah, this is
because it got picked up
the
again,
second
right?
season we're in right now.
Okay. How often does shows get picked up for a second season?
This is the first one.
I was gonna say,
This
I'm
is
like,
the
I don't
first
think I've
one
ever.
So feeling pretty good about that one. Even though it's a pretty niche show, I'm like, hey, we're back for round 2.
Well, do you guys put that on YouTube or anything, or is it just?
No,
Time
I
TV?
wanted to,
Is it like
but
legal
there's
reasons
some
you can't?
there's some
it's
play out
streaming.
stuff with how the vMix works, where it takes you have to do it later in the week rather than right away. So by the time it's uploaded into the archive computer to take it out, it's already Tuesday of the next week because it happens on Mondays every week.
I mean, let's be real here. That's what I do with this.
Yeah, ours is pretty timely though.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
'cause
every
you're
week
up to
something
date
new.
with the MMA world and all that kind of stuff.
Because every show, the layout of the show is basically.
But you can't. No, you should be. Why can't you live stream it to YouTube?
I don't know. Justine, our professor, she said.
Nah,
no
think
go.
about our class. Our asses had to do Titan TV
I
and
agree.
YouTube, and that
Listen,
was the
no,
stress.
I agree. I want to do that, and she was like, "Hold on, brother, don't." So I was just like, "All right."
That's crazy.
So my
Okay.
plan is I'm gonna archive them all,
Mm-hmm.
take them once we're done with it,
Yeah.
and just put them on YouTube and be like,
Okay.
"These are from these dates." But
Yeah.
for right now, I just post the links and post the videos from Titan TV, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
some people watch. You know, it's all right.
Yeah. What other RTF classes are you taking this semester?
This semester, I'm in cinematography
Okay.
and TV news reporting.
Okay. Did you ever take the Disney to Netflix class?
No, I
Okay.
wish. I did
Apparently-
history of cinema.
Apparently, everyone in the department's in that class except for
Everybody.
like 3 people.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I unfortunately, not unfortunately. Let
Yeah.
me rephrase that. I was in that class originally, the Disney
Oh, okay.
and Netflix,
Yeah,
whatever it's
yeah,
called, and I switched so I could finish certificate. I had 2. This was gonna finish 3.
Gotcha. Certificates in what?
So I have a public relations one.
Okay,
I
that's good.
have a advertising one, and it would have been a multimedia one. But I went into
Okay.
this class, and something happened where they lost seats, so I got the boot. So then when I went to go back into Disney,
illegal.
it was gone. So now I am in African American studies and learning a whole lot. It's great.
Wait. Which, like the race and gender or no?
No, like
This is like,
AAS.
this is just completely like a different.
Fully, I just needed credit hours.
Okay. Wait, for like a specific thing or
No, just my
So, like,
RTF
why didn't you
credits are
do
done.
like why don't you do like tennis or something?
The time slot.
Okay, so
Time
just that
slots.
was the only time that was the only
Because
class offered.
some of the ones are Thursday nights and then Monday nights and Wednesday nights.
Okay.
And I wasn't about to go to 8 p.m. 3 nights a week.
See, I mean, I can laugh at you, but I took a Native American class.
It's great.
Probably one of the most
Yeah.
goated classes I took from my years at school or whatever. Just like I don't know, the professor was goated. Like she was really good. But anyway, okay, that's
No, I love this class. Like I learn a lot, and the professor is very fun and makes the class go by quick. No, he's just like he has a great lesson plan.
Yeah, the way you said it though.
I
was
know.
fun.
I don't mean to. It's an hour. It's 90 minutes, and it feels like it's short.
Oh,
like
okay.
you're in
I
there.
mean, that's good.
Yeah,
because
he's
sometimes those can be long,
interacting
you know.
with everybody,
Yeah.
walking around.
How
the
many are in that
room.
class? Is it like a large class?
110. And that's what I'm saying. Like he's walking around
Dang.
these lecture halls, like making sure everyone's
I was thinking like
engaged.
25 students.
No,
or
no,
something.
no,
Oh,
a bunch of
okay.
people.
Got you. What's like the majority of like majors in that class? Not that you would know, but like based on
That's
you.
a really
you-
good question.
You're people watching, and you're like,
I
that
would
guy-
say
that guy is a business major. A little
Yeah, I would say
antisocial.
there's a very big mix,
Okay.
but I would say probably 50% or at least AAS minors.
Okay.
So like there might be, I would bet you it's a good mix of business and accounting, that kind of stuff.
So AAS is African American Studies.
Correct.
So you So say someone graduates with that, what do they do?
I don't know. I don't know. I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of, I mean, I think there's a place for that in a lot of different companies and businesses.
I wonder
where
what
it's
that
like-
job looks like, you know? Like, and this is coming from like a point of a person that like watches the news and stuff like that, and it's just that all those people, like millennials especially, that graduated with a lot of degrees like that, you know, or like gender studies, or it's like awesome, like cool that you studied that, but like
Yeah,
what do you do now? You know, it's just like, and it's not saying that we don't need, we need to learn about that stuff. You know, as part of history. That's like kind of like history repeats itself until you realize what's going on, and then you can deviate from that. But I don't know. It's like I feel like a lot of those classes are like you go to get that degree so that you can become a teacher to teach that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Like, I feel like definitely I'm not the one to talk about this. I mean, I'm not the spokesperson. I am simply a visitor for now. But I think it's a really great program. Like, I'm learning a ton. I love geography. I'm learning about geography from as far as time goes back. Like, it's where human civilization started. I love it.
Started in Mesopotamia, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
But, no, it's great. And then other than that, I am taking my first geography class, and let me tell you.
Oh, what geography?
102 or something like that.
Is that... Wait, okay, continue.
But the 5% that isn't taken up by MMA, I am taking country map quizzes over and over again every single day.
Oh.
Because I am determined to get 190 of the 194.
Geography, right?
Correct.
So you're taking 102. I must have took like 111 because we didn't learn about maps necessarily. It was all about like environment stuff.
So I did that.
Okay.
My first and second semester here, and I got bamboozled. I thought it was about maps. So then, needing the credit hours, I came back around to it. And was like, let me do this again now. And I really love going to class, but I don't really have to go to this class. Because this whole time waiting to take this, I've been teaching myself.
You've just been playing the States game on your iPad.
And with the MMA, the fighters are from everywhere, so I get interested, and I love.
You know what's funny? I got really good with maps when I started playing like World War II games.
Yep.
Like all those games where it's like you have to know where each country is, and it's like. Let's be real here. It's you get down to like a small one. Like where's like I don't even. No, I don't.
Like Timor-Leste.
Yeah.
Where
like,
is that?
Is Botswana? Isn't that a country or is that?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't necessarily know where that is. You know, my guess is South America or Africa.
I had to think about that one. I didn't want to get it wrong.
Or it's like I'll play like. It's not GeoGuessr. What is it called? It's just like it's the country of the day.
Bad.
It's the country of the day.
Wordle.
Thank you, Wordle. No, Word.
Wordle.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not gonna try it. Anyway, but it's like I'll get close because I know a majority of those countries, and it's like, bro, I don't know these 3 tiny ones. It could be any of them, and just based on the location, like, but. Yeah.
I was gonna be like, "Hey Jamie, pull up Wordle," but
I actually got it pulled up.
We could, but something bad could pop up.
We can't do that. But no, I love it. I really do love geography. I love traveling.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I understand why people like traveling to see different cultures. Alex, what's that face for? Where is it?
I don't know. Well, it's just like.
Oh,
like
I thought brother was gonna be like, it's in Europe.
I think it's in Africa. I can't.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I don't know where it is. I can't. Like, it's like, how do I describe this? It's like a triangle in the upper right, and then it's just kind of like upside down Virginia on the bottom.
Send me a picture on Snapchat. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I know this. If I get this 1 shot or 2 shot, I'm gonna be like, I called it.
Of which continent it's at?
It's a country.
It's a country.
But if I don't get it, you can tell me I'm dumb and I should go to class.
But isn't that the country you looked up?
No, it's the world.
Yeah, I'm playing World.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I was lost. I was like, dude,
no,
how
so
do you
he's sending us a picture of what country he's seeing. So we're gonna take a peep at what it is.
Okay.
And be like, whoa.
Try to pull it off. Okay. He's taking the picture. Wait, you got to do the guess. Did you guess? And you're all around one country right now.
What?
It just shows the outline of.
It just shows the outline here.
It doesn't show you where anything is.
No, global. That's what I play.
Global.
I play global, and so you narrow it down to what country it is.
Gotcha.
That's why I struggle to say.
I think Wordle is 6 guesses, and it's just like a
random. Okay, I sent it to both of you.
A random country. Let's see.
Oh, I got my phone on me. Okay, let's look.
Malawi, Mali.
Mali.
That's in the western. That's the western horn of Africa.
It's definitely Africa.
It's definitely
Africa. You're right. You know, I thought you were saying Malawi. I thought that's what you said. You're saying no.
I don't know how to spell that.
Dude, no. Like it gives me like if I get close.
Okay. Are you close?
Yeah. All right. I'm guessing Malawi right now.
Yeah.
Or Mali.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like I think Malawi or there's another country like that, and we're just.
It said 72%.
If you made it this far in the podcast, you're just like, yeah, these
What's up,
dumbasses. Okay, but I thought that was like way south in Africa. Try like Maui, like you said, like
Is it Maui in
I think
Hawaii?
it's
MAWI or something like
or
that.
MALI or MAHLI, something like that.
Or
Hey, it was Maui.
What did I say? What did I say?
let's go. That's so good.
Jordan, you gotta like
Hey,
print
shout out AAS. We just talked about that last week. That's where ancient Ghana was located.
Let's go.
Jordan, you're gonna have to like put like a graphic of this over the stream so people know.
Okay, I will if I remember. No promises. I think every single podcast I've said like, oh yeah, I'll put that up. Never do. But you know, there's so many shows that like I watch that they're like, oh, let's start a poll.
Yeah.
There's never a poll
There's
to
no
do.
polls.
Okay,
The people in this room know, and that's what matters.
you have an MMA show.
That's right.
What got you into MMA as a sport?
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was throughout all of high school. I graduated high school.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. I knew Conor
just
McGregor.
Okay.
Like, I knew nothing.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, and there
Yep.
were no sports on, and they were the first ones back, and I was like, I need sports. And it came on, and I was like, man, I really dig. This is everything I've looked for. I loved ninja movies. I loved action movies. I loved the fighting video games.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is the real life
Who's
stuff.
your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo.
That's what I was gonna say. Too.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, continue.
But no, so it came back, and I was like, this is awesome. And
Yep.
yeah,
Were you into boxing? Or
not at all. I didn't know anything about combat
So like
sports.
what happened? Like what switched in your brain that's like, bro, I love these guys taking each other out.
I wanted
You know
to
what I'm
find a fighting video game, and I started playing UFC 3. And then they started promoting fight nights,
Yup.
and then COVID happened. So it was right at the time.
Oh.
So then when I was playing UFC 3 during COVID,
so
it was
were you someone that played like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
Yeah.
So, and then they started promoting the events on there, like, we're back. And I was like,
Okay.
let me take a gander at that. And I literally from, I think it was June of 2020,
Yep.
I haven't missed an event.
That's crazy.
Which is terrible. Like, I need to have a better social life on Saturdays.
You're probably missing something right now, aren't you?
No.
Jack's like, no, that's why I said, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah,
This is the 5%.
Hey, if it was 6 months later, Dana White Contender Series would be on 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. So.
Okay. You know what's funny? I feel like I remember you saying like, all right, I gotta go watch
100%, yeah.
Dana White's like, yeah. Okay.
Hey, now I have an excuse to show I'm like, I gotta watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Because I know we were talking when we were shooting hoops. We just talked forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were just talking about like how you got into it. Did you ever do any fighting yourself, or?
I would say yes and no. Like,
Okay.
I've never had like a sanctioned fight or like a Tapology page or like, but because for reference, the camera, I'm a short, very fat man. So I'm like 5'8", 280. Like, I'm a bowling ball. So fighting in a weight
some
class,
might say a tank.
A tank, you know. From football, they called me Dozer because not that I was bulldozing, I was bulldozed.
That's crazy.
And but no, so
Okay.
luckily my gyms, they're really great and they have great sparring.
Yep.
And there's these things called smokers where like you can go.
Okay.
And it's basically just like a hard spar against another guy from a gym, and you go and it's just like as if it was regular, and then afterwards you give each other a high five, and there's no winner.
So is that what you were doing?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I either like some
That's
days.
weird. That's like fascinating. Like, I don't know. I just always played like a sport where it's like soccer, baseball. You go to the diamond, you go to the field. It's weird to be like, I'm showing up because I'm gonna beat the shit out of someone.
No. Well, the fun part is like you don't know who it's gonna be.
Exactly. Like that'd be nerve wracking.
Sometimes like
the Rock comes in, you're like, oh shit.
No, and the coaches, they typically are like, this guy's around this skill level, this
Yeah.
guy's around this, so nobody's getting super messed
Oh,
up.
okay.
But like my gym, every Saturday morning, they'd have not a smoker, but like good hard sparring.
Yep.
And I love, like, every time I go home, I try to go. It's like, not that I'm like, oh, speed running CTE, let me just get punched in the head. But it's just like a really great thing. And during COVID, I started training. And like you said, it's not like other sports. I've been a terrible athlete in terrible sports.
Yep.
Because it was a team.
Okay.
This is like, because you're alone.
Yeah.
It's either like lock in or you're done.
Yeah, you're out.
And
Lights out, literally.
I needed that, and I love it, and it's great.
Okay. That's crazy. Do you have any like crazy sparring sessions where you were like, that either went as planned or that did not go as planned?
I'll tell you two, one good, one bad.
Okay.
Like the good one was where like I was visiting my favorite gym in Madison. It was a Muay Thai gym. They're lovely. PCY Muay Thai. Recommend it anytime. But I was going, and it was a guy who I'd never met before, and he was a heavyweight. He was like probably 6'2", 300, like a big guy. And he was just going, and we were going, touching, probably 50%.
Okay.
And I must have leg kicked him too hard or something, and he just started throwing like 80, 90%. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like chill on that. Like, what are we doing here? And he's like a true heavyweight, like 6 foot something, big guy. I'm like a featherweight body that just happens to weigh like a heavyweight. Like, I've got short arms. I'm 5'8". Like, I'm not meant to fight big people. Yeah. But it was just, he was coming at me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like this isn't fun. And I just start trying to get out of the way, trying to be defensive. And he ended up throwing like a terrible kick, and I just dinked him right on the chin, and he went all stinky legged all over the ring. And I typically hate punching people in the face because I like CTE does scare me. But that time I was like, gotcha. And then the other time was one of my coach in Illinois. His name's TJ. Yep. We were going. I was probably a year and a half in, and we're sparring, and I couldn't keep my hands up. They kept dropping. And he was like, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. I'm going to hit you in the face if you don't keep your hands up. So then I must have dropped it one too many times, and he just drilled me right on the nose, broke my nose, my blood running down.
This is your coach?
Yeah, and I love him to death. He's great. I credit him with making me a decent a decent athlete. But like, oh my God, he thumped me on that one, and I was like, my nose is still like it's still not good. But hey, it's all right.
Okay. Dude, that's so funny. I think it's so funny, like, how you end up being in a sport. Like,
yeah.
It's just, like, so, did you do that before COVID or after COVID?
Fully after. So, before COVID,
crazy.
Like, I was a baseball player, and I played baseball until high school.
What position?
Catcher.
Yeah, okay.
Catcher. And then I wasn't moving around. Come on now. And, but... So in high school, I was the manager of our basketball team. Okay. Because all of my friends were on the basketball team.
Okay, yeah.
And I am not a basketball player.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Recreationally.
Yeah. You'll hit a 3 once in a while.
Once in a while. Every 1 in 10 shots, I'll drain one. But I played football my sophomore year of high school onward. And that was, again, like kind of an accident. Yep. One of my best friends played. He was like, come on. And I was like, fine. And then after my first year, I was going to quit because I was terrible. Yeah. I will say to this day, I'm the worst football player you will have ever seen. I hold my high school's least average yards per carry at -4. One rush, -4 yards.
Wait, where were you? Were you on the goal line or?
No, I was probably at like their 30.
Okay.
But the problem is we only had like 12 guys for this game or JV game, so the running back went in at guard, and I got drilled. But... But other than that, I loved it. I was going to quit because I was bad. And then my coach was like, come on, don't do that. Okay. And I didn't. And I'm so happy he did that because I made a ton of friends and I loved it. But I was just never really that good at it. And there was never a path for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to play. So I was just there for good. I was just trying to be a glue guy. Good vibes.
For good vibes, which brings me to our rec team. The good vibes.
Dude. We were the nicest team in the league. We've got awards.
We talked about this on a past podcast because my buddy Luke was watching our last game of the season. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot. I got destroyed on that game.
Yeah. Well, you also had one of the nastiest hezzies I've ever seen in that game.
I don't remember that.
But I
do. Head trauma.
Caught it. You're facing the hoop. I'm painting the picture here. You're
facing the hoop. Let's go. I'm
Point
here.
Guard, forget who it was, hits Jordan in the corner, left side.
Okay.
Pump fake. Goes to the left towards the baseline. Okay. Hits the pump fake under the basket, spins around, and passes it out. If he shot that layup, I would have been.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know. That's because I was falling over. I had to pass.
But you had him. You cooked that dude.
You painted that way better than it actually looked. No, it's probably like this guy traveled.
If you were watching it from a third person view, you'd be like, oh my God.
That was an insane game, but Yeah,
Henry had the chase down block.
Yeah.
Those guys, big shout out to them.
That was Andy, because then that guy was mad at Andy. Andy's like,
shout out to that team though, because
Yeah.
they allowed us to have a game until the last 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
they were like, "We're gonna show you we're the better athletes now."
Honestly, I don't think so. I think halftime we spooked them because I think we hit like 2 late threes and we closed that game. We tied, and then they were like, "All right, we gotta
lock in.
like no more like." Cause the one guy was complaining that he wasn't getting the ball. It was like, "Hey, no more complaining. We're just gonna play." And then then they took it, and our best player broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And then later on, I just got absolutely mauled. I was going up for just an easy bucket, and the guy just came over the back of me. I totally forgot about that. Just goes boom, misses ball, just takes my head, my neck.
That fell.
Was like broken, and then I hit the ground
such a
hard,
thud.
and I was like, I usually I get up pretty quick.
And you're already the bionic man.
Yeah, because I got 2 knee braces.
We couldn't have you getting hurt.
So then I'm like on the ground. I'm like, that did not feel good. I'm like, my head is pounding because I just was in a MMA fight and just got the shit
you were
kicked out
putting
of
it
me.
all on the line for the RTF ballers.
And then I was like, I need a sub right now, and then I didn't go back.
Hey,
and then we were done.
It was okay. Well, that team, remember like the last 5 minutes before the mercy rule, they were just like fast break dunks. Let's go.
No, we didn't get mercy ruled.
Did we not that
No,
game?
no.
Did they just win by like 18?
Yeah, they just won by a lot.
Yeah.
Because we were shooting threes at the end.
And we were
trying
dunking.
to get everyone. We were trying to get everyone a basket at the end. So
5 points, no big deal.
Let's go.
shot for 1 for 2 for something.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fun. I wish we would have been able to do that more.
Yeah, but
But
that was a very late notice epiphany from me, where it's like, if I don't do an intramural sport in college, I'm gonna be very upset.
Yeah.
So then, like a week before the teams were due, I was like, "Hey, fellas, should
Well,
we
what's
do
funny is
this?"
I wasn't even originally on the team.
No, you were what, game 2 edition, and then we found out you were LeBron. You were coaching
LeBron.
us at half court. You had like 8, 5, and 3. You were like Jokic out there, just on a much smaller level.
Much smaller.
Instead of triple doubles, it was just like good.
We were on a
stats.
show. What were we on? Honeydew?
Honeydew, maybe?
Honeydew? Yeah. You were a guest on the show. No, you were working camera op? I don't know. Were you doing
Honeydew
something?
episode 1 champ.
It's true. It's true. Almost a champ on the.
You robbed me.
I didn't rob you.
You robbed me.
No, I didn't rob you. You did
I
not.
got more water. I got more water.
No,
and
but
you
what,
gave
what
it
was,
to the less water.
What was my excuse?
That he did it better. And I was like, that's some BS right there.
Did you get more water?
I filled the bucket.
Oh, it's because you didn't fill the bucket. Let's be real here. Everyone got like this much water. But my argument was that he was holding an entire conversation with the assistant host or whatever of the show.
Just
while
because I
filling
locked
it.
in.
Yeah, but you didn't have. Yeah, but if you would have had way more water than him, then I would have gave it to you. But you guys are basically like this similar. But
Hey.
your strat was crazy too with that plastic bags.
I was trying that you put a hole in.
I didn't put a hole.
It was them. It was them.
Yeah,
it was the showrunners.
Yeah, dude, I was so mad. They were like trying to get on the last episode. All right, here's some like conspiracy going on. The last episode, they're like, "Hey, we kind of want this person to win," and I'm like, I haven't been running the show like this. That's not happening.
Now, did that person end up winning?
I don't remember. It might have, but I think. Yes, they did, but the only reason they did was because the person that probably would have won the last challenge, which would have put them over the top, their thing like broke.
Gotcha.
So it was like, oh, like your product wasn't impressive because you didn't get it done in time. It was origami. So like they were halfway done with their origami, or they messed it up, so they had to switch it last second to like insane origami. Like I couldn't have done that. I would have done a paper airplane and called it a day. You know?
I had mustard on a paper.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
But, yeah.
But hey, I loved everything RTF has allowed us to do. It's
Yeah.
allowed a lot of goofy stuff.
No, it's crazy to think like everything we've done there. You know, my thing that's crazy is like when I look at like schools, I'll be like, they're still cooking. Like they still get new students. So it's like everyone I know there's like not almost graduated, you know, but it's like we're gonna be getting there where it's like just
out.
like in high school. It's like all of a sudden, I know no one in that high school anymore.
Yeah.
And like for me, I had younger siblings, so it was like I kind of knew them, but it was like, oh, after them though, it's like so like I almost had a longer time of knowing students in the school, but it's like now it's like
It eventually goes away.
yeah.
I'm almost like, I don't know if this is like a hot topic or something,
Okay.
but like I'm almost thinking that like 25, 30 years, Oshkosh might not be a school anymore.
Really?
Where like we're so bad with money already. Like we laid off half the people.
I thought. Well, they laid half off, but I thought they were already making big chunks back.
They were, but because they got rid of half the people, you need those people.
It's true.
They got rid of half. They got rid of 170 salaries. Of course that's gonna free up money.
Yeah. I think the.
But we'll be Ghost alum. That's what I'm thinking.
Dude, I'm already almost Ghost alum for my theater degree.
Maybe.
I think they just got the chop.
Yeah.
Like, officially.
I think you're RTF now.
Which I was telling my dad that the other day because I was like, yeah, I think the theater department just got like hey, we're not allowing any more hiring, and then they kind of forced out the faculty, being like, hey, you're either gonna leave with this whatever retirement or whatever that is, or we're not gonna give you anything. You're gonna go out with the department. So it's like, well, you just gave them an ultimatum. It's like they have families, so they can't not, But I was telling my dad, I'm like, dude, what if I would have like just went as like theater?
You would have been literally the last one.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, my degree is a ghost, in the sense of like it's non-existent anymore. Whereas like because I double majored with the RTF, it's also like if I want to do acting or something.
You double majored?
Yeah,
dang.
That's why it took me an extra semester.
I thought you did theater as a minor.
No, that was a major.
Gotcha.
So it's like because I have the RTF major, also it's like okay, it's not ghosted, and it also like looks good on a resume. Like I've been talking to schools, and I think a lot of interest on the schools is because of that radio, TV, film. It's just different than if you look like every other Joe Schmo with theater as their degree, That's the same as I feel with like I have a business degree. It's like all right. Well, you were thinking like you love the sport, like you would totally manage.
Well, when someone asked me like why I got into RTF, I'm just like I didn't mean to. Like I am, like I said earlier, I'm bad technically. Like I'm bad with cameras and editing.
Well, also like you just picked the wrong class or degree.
Yeah, like I just did the wrong stuff. But I trust me, I love it. It's taught me more than anything I would have ever imagined.
Yeah.
But like I'm like an advertising major probably. Like that's typically what's more I'm driven to. Like thinking of idea.
Is that like, advertising like sales or advertising as in like
I almost like promotion. Like I like big upping things, Like I think it's really easy to be like these are the major positives of this. Okay. Like this is this.
All right. Let's quiz you. What would you do different with this show?
With this show?
Yeah.
TikTok. I would post a bunch of clips.
Funny? I've been thinking about that, and I'm like, I just don't like TikTok. It's my problem.
It's brutal. Or reels, but like just clips.
YouTube I've been doing reels in shorts. What else would you say I should do, in the sense of?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, for like a couple first 10 episodes, this is fantastic. I mean, not that I know what would be better, but like. I think the setup's good. I think the logo looks great.
We got like the best tech guy in the business.
We got the best tech guy in the business. Certified drone pilot back there. We also got...
Give him his credit. Give him
my credit.
I know. He was the cinematographer of drone shots on The Hitchhiker, uncredited. He is that person. But... No,
You'd be like, no one stood on a ladder and pretended to come in with a camera one-handed.
No, he filmed all the poop trucks, which he could tell you about. They were poopy. They were throwing stuff at you. It stank.
What even is this film about?
It was about...
were you on set for this, Jack? Jack, were you on set for this?
Yeah.
You got it.
You were on set for this?
Yeah. So me and him, we reunited on the poop street.
All right, W.
And the reason I'm calling it that is because we shot a 6-hour day on a random road in Oshkosh.
Okay.
And it turned out at the end, it was a one-way, it was a street.
Yeah.
And then there was let's say, I'm trying to think, like if this is here, this is the street. We were here, there was a street here. At the end of the street, there was a manure plant.
Okay.
So the whole day, every like 10 minutes, there were like
the wind would change.
No. Trucks filled with like 2 tons of poop would drive past, back and forth. So we'd have to take our time. So he was flying the drones. He got good looks in the poops.
Okay.
He got a better view than anyone there.
Wait, so Alex, you have your own drone then, I'm assuming?
Correct.
Dude, that's sick.
They look great.
W.
So yeah, I got my own camera equipment as well and drones. So like I am
need
set
a-
up to fully shoot.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I just found this YouTube channel, and like maybe people have known this channel for a while. It's got like 300-some thousand, but they do short skits or whatever. It's like something Wyatt. Like like someone else's name and like Wyatt or whatever is like the YouTube channel, but they do like short skits or whatever. And but they're like they have like a series or whatever. You could literally just go to my YouTube, go click the YouTube icon, Alex, and it will probably be in the For You page or whatever. But anyway, they have this like skit where it's like your dream girl or whatever. But like they don't want like it's like the way you're in friend zone and kind of thing or whatever. And so they have like a really funny series. But I'm like, oh, that'd be so fun to like get a group of people to like just create some like short.
That would be so funny.
Like film-esque YouTube, bad quality, funny though.
Have you
like,
ever seen the Curry Baker guy?
No.
It's so him and his buddy do the same thing. I forget what it's called. But they were just like filming skits, and now they have like a full budget movie.
Yeah.
Same with Raka Raka, if you know who they are.
Okay.
But
yeah, I know. I think like I was telling Alex, I was like, dude, I just like that's what I want to do is I want to film some like fun stuff over like summer or whenever people's schedules get a little less busy or whatever. And
I think that's the best part about YouTube, where like you don't have any constraints. It's like you can do the podcast. You could also bike around an island. You can also
don't be taking my YouTube. Don't be putting my YouTube videos out there.
You
where it's just a crotch shop because my GoPro didn't work.
But you could go cover an event. You could
Yeah.
review chewing gum.
Yeah.
Like you could do whatever you want to do.
Speaking of chewing gum, do you want? No, I'm just kidding.
I've got them all.
Yeah, no, we'll have to see. Are you around after? Because you graduate this spring, right?
I graduate in May, and I don't plan on it.
You're
I plan on either going
escaping.
home
Yeah.
or my goal is to work for an MMA or boxing promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on if I get a job and where I get a
Okay.
job,
Where do you get a job? Like, obviously, you can get like the actual fighter individually,
Yeah.
but where else? How else would you get a job in MMA?
you apply to the promotion. Like their promotion
Okay.
has positions like PR, advertising, social media, all that stuff, just like any other company.
Yep. Okay.
But
That's cool.
if like UFC, bare knuckle boxing, PFL, ONE, LFA, like any of these people hire me, it would be all living in a different spot, but I would love it.
Would you ever do like the? What are your thoughts on like the slap, whatever that's?
I would
called?
do that in a heartbeat.
Really?
Because they're owned by the UFC. It would be a good way to.
Go straight to the UFC.
It would be in, and then I could be like, hey, actually.
Is there like a fighter right now that you're like, oh, that's the type of person or dude that I would want to be their manager or whatever that's considered?
In the UFC right now, or just in general?
Yeah, right now. If you could like pick a fighter, not necessarily because they're good, but also like based on like
You'd want to work
as
with.
much as you know of them.
I'm going to say these two aren't in the UFC, but they're real close.
Okay.
They're twins. It's
Okay.
Harry and George Hardwick. They're the Cage Warriors. It's a huge promotion in England. They're both
Okay.
champs, 45 and 55 pounds. They're awesome guys. They're fun to watch. They're good for the community.
Yeah.
They coach kids for free. Like I like those guys a
Got
lot.
you. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see. Maybe you become like really rich and you can bail out Oshkosh.
Hey, listen, I don't care about money, but I would love to make a lot of money, so I could be like, maybe not Oshkosh, but the kids of Oshkosh, like the people.
So give it back to Harper University.
Harper. Hey, no, they just got a couple Milli Vanillis from Mrs.
Really?
Bezos or whatever her name is now.
What? Is that where she went to school? Or?
No, she's just been donating millions upon millions to schools, and we got some.
Huh.
I don't know why. There's a real Picasso at our
we
school.
couldn't do like. Oh, really?
There's a sculpture made by Picasso
That's
underneath some
actually crazy.
stairs because it's some squiggly chest of a woman. And the school didn't like that, but it's just like, also, it's a real Picasso. Put that out. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's a touchy like. Yeah, what
You're
do you do with
adults. You're
that?
at college.
Nah, but think of like our university, like our art department put out some weird stuff.
Yeah, they got some freaky stuff in there, and that's okay. It's okay. Let people.
Dude, have you ever done like a? Okay, what are your thoughts on when the art department would always do like their cardboard unit? And
I would try my best not to fall on it because I'd ruin it. They're making me run through it like it was wipeout drills,
bro,
you know?
it's like bro's back in on the field.
I know, gotta
doing tunnels. I don't know. I thought they were cool.
Yeah,
But also I'm
I don't
like,
know how they make them.
Well, they just take cardboard and tape them together.
Yeah, but there's some round ones. How do you make cardboard like perfectly rounded?
True, I never thought
I don't
about
know.
that. I just never thought about
But
that.
they have like a nice art gallery in there that
Yeah.
there's some funky stuff that goes on in there,
Yeah.
but it's cool. Like there's that glass dog type thing right in front of it.
Dude, you know what always bothered me? In that lobby, there's like the one like showcase shelf, whatever thing, It's got like the same 3 art pieces.
That's been there the entire
for the last like 50
yeah.
years. Like, bro, has our art
Put
department
something new.
has our art department like never made anything better than that? Like,
that was a class I was trying to take this semester. 8 a.m. drawing of the human figure.
Dude, no. My sister took an art class. It was like the worst class she ever took. Like, they took it so serious. She's like,
it would be so hard.
She was like, bro, it's just an entry on how to draw. And it was like I remember she was not crying, but like close to tears so many nights trying to draw. She's like, the teacher's gonna like. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking an art. You don't have to tell me to take an art class.
Luckily, with that stuff is like I get publicly embarrassed all the time because of myself. But like everybody around me, like today, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
We had to turn in some packages for a reporting class.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, oh, mine's pretty good. I'm feeling good about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Was
and
it
then
good?
the first 3 go in, I'm like, oh my god, mine's terrible. And sure enough, it comes out. That's why I like going first. They can't judge. They can't judge you on.
You get
nothing.
a little bit of pity points because you went first too. Yeah.
And then, but ripped me a new one, and it was fine. You know, I think I got like a C, and C's get degrees. That's what I'm looking for,
dude. What are your? I was talking to someone about like what's the grading where you choose what grade you get basically by how much effort you put in. Was it spectrum grading? I don't know.
Maybe. I'd have like an automatic C+ for everything. Just like a good, solid effort.
Dude, those classes, like I learned the hard way. I'd like try really hard to get the A. Or it would be opposite where it's like, I go for the B because I'm busy right now. I'll get the A later. But then what you don't realize is like the longer you wait to get the A, because you're supposed to build on top of what you're learning. So that means the harder the stuff is to get an A later on. I'd be like killing myself. I'm like, why?
See, I just take it one at a time and be like, I'm going to do this one thing and make it okay. I'm going to make this presentable. And then I do it and I present it and I'm like, okay, next time I can make this better. And then it's better. And then it's better.
And now you have your own TV show on TV.
Now I have a TV show. Let's go. On the local Spectrum network. It's technically a broadcast television show. No big deal.
It is. No, it is a big deal, you know. That's your credits, you know. Just like Alex is getting credits for doing this show.
I know.
If he ever wants to put on, dude. Okay, so I had a job interview, and
did you invite him into the podcast studio?
I was killing it. No. Why would I invite them into my room? That's the thing too. Is like some people have reached out and they're like, hey, like I'd love to be on your show, or like it'll be like an organization or something. And I'm like, dude, that's sick, but like it's in my parents' house, in my bedroom. No, this is my private studio. It's not my bedroom.
We're in LA right now.
Yeah, no, but I'm like. I can't get like it's fine inviting friends or people I'm close with or whatever, you know, or it's like I'm a part of their organization or whatever, but it's like, it's like I would love to do that or showcase your organization, but it's like I don't feel comfortable bringing you into my parents' room. If it was my apartment, I could care less, you know, but I'm like, out of respect for my parents, I don't want to keep bringing in like millions of strangers into it. So that's why
here's this 45-year-old guy coming to your house.
And I'm like, I don't know how comfortable I'd be like having like a 50-year-old man sitting where you are talking about whatever we're talking about with like my bed over here and like my clothes over there. It's just like, you know,
it's intimate. It's an intimate thing to do.
Yeah. So it's like, I need to have like a space before I would really or I've been working on like this. I have set up so I can take it anywhere. So it's like I need to get a laptop that I can trust or change my battery.
In your life. Throw those interviews on here.
I could, but I don't want to do an online stuff. I like being in person.
I agree. I think there's a different dynamic.
Yeah, this is so much better than if I was just looking at Jack on the screen.
Like I could go like this and be like,
it would be so close. The whatever was it, Michelangelo.
That's it.
Almost sold right there. I was
like, what are you talking about?
I was like, what is going on? But which brings us back to the Ninja Turtles. Wow,
I love them, man. Great show. Have you seen the new animated show? Oh, it bangs, dude.
The movie, you mean? Or the show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, I didn't hear they had a new.
No, it was
whatever.
I was thinking new movie was still Michael Bay to me.
Did you watch, Alex? Did you watch the new Ninja Turtle movie that came out like a year ago?
No, I have not seen the new animated one.
I don't know. I watched the live action one. I think it was on some streaming service, so I watched that. But I don't know. I never really got into Ninja Turtles.
You ever see the ones from the 90s?
I have seen a couple clips from that. Yeah, those ones are pretty crazy.
Those were a Saturday morning classic on whatever I had. I would come downstairs and they were on all the time, and I'm like,
see, we were a Disney family, but like Disney movie. So it was like we didn't really watch a lot of like television or like that way. I mean Disney Channel once, like when you come home from school, you get to watch like Arthur.
You ever do Disney XD?
No, because that was like that next stage beyond Disney, a little more edgier. And my parents were like,
kicking it was where it was.
We did watch that. We did watch that. But like, I just never got into those kind of like when the Avengers had their series, you know, and stuff like that. It's like we just never watched that because we were always watching movies instead. But when we'd go to like our grandparents, both of them had the full cable package.
Gotcha.
So then we'd watch Boomerang and like the ass crack of dawn at like 6 a.m. We'd hit Boomerang. You get like the Wacky Racers or whatever, like all those like old like the
Flintstones
would be on. Yeah, like
Jetsons.
Yep, and then you'd watch the Snorkels, the Smurfs.
I feel like like those shows are like retired now.
Probably. Well, I haven't watched cable in however long. You know, it's like
I've got free cable at my house. Tyson Gold, my dog, watches Top Gear every day. He likes the sound of the cars.
Okay.
If I had my roommate, I'd be like, "Hey, Jack Porter, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Tell me that Tyson watches TV because I leave before him in the morning and I don't turn on the TV.
Okay.
And Tyson's looking all mopey on the couch. He comes out, turns on the TV. He'll send me pictures of homeboy being perked up watching the TV like this. I'm like, "What are you doing?" But hey, I'm happy he's enjoying life. He's the king of the house.
Okay, wait, hold up, because I was thinking of the story that you were when we were at that one weird I don't know what it was, taqueria, I don't know.
Yeah, taqueria.
And you were telling the story of how your street was getting redone, and
for over a year,
and one of your guys' cars got like locked in.
Yeah, my roommates. Yeah. So it was really unfortunate. He didn't move the car for 6 weeks. It was
stuck in the driveway because they got rid of.
Yeah, they got rid of the sidewalk so people wouldn't go into the driveway.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But he never left, so it was just there. And I would have been stuck too, but I came home from class randomly, and I was like, "What? What is going on?"
That would have been.
We didn't get the memo. Our every car was gone except me and his.
Yeah.
There was no note, and they were like, "Hey, we're doing the streets right now." I'm like, "Well."
Did he have his keys so he couldn't get his car, or?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be driving his car anyway. But
he wouldn't let you drive your
car? I don't know.
If it was stuck there for 6 weeks, he wouldn't.
I wouldn't let people drive mine, you know?
If your car was going to... Okay, the choice was either you let someone drive your car out of the driveway.
I would just drive it out anyway. I have a truck.
No, you're not there. So your options are either let someone drive
Yeah,
your
I'd
truck,
let it sit.
Or you let it sit for 6 weeks?
No, see, the problem was he has a sedan, so the gap was too large. I am high enough.
Oh, so you also got stuck, but yours was able to get through.
So I got stuck.
Okay.
But it was before they like put the barriers in front. So I was like, "Hey guys, can you move this?" So I just drove over
and they were
got
probably
out.
like this guy.
But they were probably like this kid. And then my roommate, it was too big of a gap where like he would have got stuck.
I wonder we could have tried like planks or boards.
I agree. That was my plan.
I was so mad if it like fell off.
I would have been. Yeah, it would have been hilarious. One of my best friends in the world, Andrew Kinney, came up and he got him out. He put the boards down. He had him drive over.
Wait, so you did do the boards?
Eventually, because they weren't. He had to go. It was Thanksgiving.
Oh,
and he was like, "I'm not staying here." For
I thought it was. So it was stuck for 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was from
and then he did the boards.
It was from October until November 18th or something like that.
I didn't realize it was under construction. I kind of forgot.
The street was under construction for a year.
I forgot, but that was
and it was
Cherry.
Yeah, Cherry.
That was a rough street.
And it was just our driveway that was affected for that 6 weeks. But it's over now. Thank you. When it was happening,
Have you ever run into the Cherry Street gang?
Yes. Those little 5-year-olds that run around going, "Wow!" When you're walking home from class, they'll get you, man. They'll go.
Hey. Is that what they did to you?
Yeah, they're picking at my ankles. You know what I
mean? You literally are a trained fighter. You could have drop kicked one of them or something like that. Assert your dominance.
They had the edge on me. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
They probably had a gun or two too. Somehow.
I don't know if these like 5-year-olds had guns, but they had a mean energy about them.
No, I don't think anything happened to me. I think there was like they were just throwing football across the street and they threw it over my car. But at first I thought they were throwing it. No, or they threw it at the back of my car or something like that.
Yeah. Someone tried breaking into my apartment though. Like that wasn't fun. I was I was in Illinois and I came back on a Sunday night and was watching Family Guy. I lived in my apartment for a year.
Yeah.
Never
had
one
issue.
night without my dog, my 80-pound pit bull. The first night ever I don't have my dog. I'm sitting in my family room. Boom, 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 trying to break down my door. And I just start screaming like, ah, get out of here.
I'm going crazy.
I was freaking out. I mean, you know when you're on the Tower of Terror, like one of those drops and you go and that feeling you get?
Yeah.
I was like, and I had a punching bag that had 75 pounds of water in it.
Okay.
So I waddled that to the door, put my jujitsu gi on it so it looked like a guy. And I was like, no one's getting in here. Because my door is like a motel. Like you open the door, it's outside in my kitchen. And it's just glass. So I was like, oh, I don't know how this didn't break. But then he tried to do my neighbor and messed up her lock. But we're good.
Did he get into her apartment?
No, he did get into someone else's, but she wasn't there. She came home to him being there, and then the guy never got caught.
Huh. Dude, because there was that one story, and...
Same guy. Same couple of weeks, he was just walking into girls' apartments.
Well, I'm not talking about that guy. I was talking about the guy that, like, it was, like, Halloween or something like that. Remember that?
Maybe?
Okay, what happened was, like, there was a guy that, like, shot someone.
Not what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
and then he was the cops were trying to catch him during Halloween. So he was running all over. He ran into, I don't think you would have known because it was music people. He ran to their house, hid the gun in one of their drawers, and was like pretend like I was here or whatever. And they're like, what? And then the cops like show up or whatever. Obviously knew who he was.
That's crazy.
Took him out, found the gun or whatever. But I was like, wow, that's like crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, to... I don't know,
what I was saying was like there was this random guy who would just
okay.
appear in people's bedrooms when they were sleeping, and then he'd run away and never got caught. It was just like, what are we doing?
I'm laughing, but not
It's
because
terrible.
that's funny, but like, what
It's
the
awesome
heck?
that he didn't do anything, like, and wasn't bad. Like, he was bad, but like he didn't. He could have gone a lot
was
further
weird.
worse. He was just watching, which like weird, dude. But like he wasn't, you know.
Dude, the other night my sister comes because she forgot. Like I think she left her keys in the apartment. But both my sisters share an apartment, and so one of my sisters was back home, and then the other one left her key in the apartment. And it was locked, so she had to come to here. And I was like, well, hopefully like you like could get in or whatever, and nothing weird happens or whatever. Like, and then so my mom said something out of pocket along the lines of like, yeah, make sure like no one like got in or something while you weren't there, because she'd be the only one there, because my other sister wouldn't be there that night. And walking into a dark apartment or whatever, and then
That's
I'm like, oh, and then my sister's like, thanks, mom. Like now that's
Yeah,
like,
you make
as I'm
it-
walking
that's
in, there's gonna be
reassuring.
like a guy in my closet or some shit, like in one place I didn't check.
And
you
the
know?
whole night she's.
So I was like, send me a text if like once you clear out the room. She's like, all right, I'll clear it. I'll get
POL, proof of life, dude.
Yeah, I was like, that's good. But I was like, oh. Sometimes I think, oh, just the other night I was watching a video on my phone, because usually I charge my phone across my room, so I'm not on my phone at night.
Smart.
You know.
Good
But
idea.
I was like listening to a really good podcast, and I just was like left it, and my cat was like on my chest as I was laying on my bed, and bro like 2 times was like. But because you were my room was complete black besides my phone, so my eyes weren't adjusted to like the dark. So I put my phone down and I couldn't see, just like for a split second. So my heart, I could just feel my heart going like, as my cat's like, someone's walking up the stairs, he's gonna kill you. You know?
That's so scary.
And then the cat like went back to normal, and then I was like, okay. And then went back on my my eyes adjusted, and then went back on my phone. Did it again, my eyes weren't adjusted again. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna die. I'm like, you need to knock this off.
I know. No joke. Your house looks haunted.
Dude.
There's a ghost in here.
Nah, there's
Probably
no
like
ghost.
Maybelline.
No. This is a Catholic house, you know. We've got it blessed. It's all good.
Hey,
to go.
I
We
like
got
that.
crucifix in most of the rooms.
You're
so.
right. Hey, maybe they're just lurking outside the wall. They're looking in.
Yeah, they
They're
wish
like, "You
they wish
locked
they
us
could infiltrate
out."
this house. This is a holy house.
No,
We're
you're right.
creepy.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot ghosts didn't believe, or they do believe.
Well, spirits. Well, if you
Spirits.
believe in God, that means you also have to believe in evil. So you can't have one without the other. That means there are demons out there, you know.
Those
So.
demons, man. I hate them.
Yeah, they'll come and
They're,
get you.
they're trying to
Pull
get
your
me.
pants down when you're least expecting.
Whoa, whoa. But
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. It's good stuff, good stuff. I don't think I've ever been in a situation, though, where I've truly felt like,
have you ever been in like a natural disaster type deal, like a tornado or?
whew, yeah. You?
Sorta.
Dude, okay, when we lived in Whitewater, I would have been like first grade, kindergarten. This was like one of the worst tornadoes that went through Wisconsin at the time, and it literally was the city over. So we got insane weather, like rain. Like our basement was like another old house like this, but like way worse, like quality wise, because we were renting it, and the basement had like this much water in it. And like that's where we were when the tornado was coming. It was like go to the basement, and then the basement like started filling up with water. We're like, what the like what are we gonna do? And like by that time the tornado had gone, so like you didn't have to be in the basement, you know. But like you could tell,
but
like,
then your basement's
like in the back corner there was like a leak or something. But because we rented it, like my dad's a fixer, he hates sitting around when there's something that either can be fixed or done or whatever, and like that house kind of killed him because we were renting and those people were kind of anal. He's like, bro, I would just fix it because like I don't want to live in this shithole, you know. But they'd be like, oh, well, no, we can't let you do that, or we'll come do it 6 months later.
That's how my landlord is.
So like
if the fridge was moldy and we threw it away, and they're like, how could you? And we're like, we bought you a new fridge. What are you talking about? They're like, why did you get rid of it? And then we were just like, it was broken, and they were like, okay. But it was just like, it was a disgusting white.
Like you were gonna clean it.
It was a white fridge that was brown on the inside, and we got like this new.
How do you think it got brown? What do you
it was a hoarder house before we moved in. She was my employer for a little while.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's a crazy story.
It was a lot, you know. It was like a legit hoarder house. Like if you've watched the show Hoarders, it was that. And she is an awesome lady.
Yeah.
But she has a lot of problem, like mental issues and maybe substance abuse issues.
Yeah. Allegedly.
And but what I'm talking is like, imagine like any house. It's fully floor to ceiling with stuff, walkways this big. There had to be 5,000 pounds of just junk pieces of wood. There was a 22-foot sailboat that had a hole in it that would never sail again, that she was like, I'm going to take it around the world. And I was like, all right. And basically what she'd have me do...
Gotta get some flex tape.
Yeah, basically what she had me do, there was so much... It was like, you know those puzzle games where it's like there's one opening square? So
yeah.
It was basically, I was just moving that... There was one open square in the house. And I kept moving that open square to just like different houses and filling what was there with the other stuff. So it was just like I was getting paid for zero progress. But she wanted it exactly how she wanted it. And anytime I interjected, I got a mouthful. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do exactly what you want me to do.
No, it was funny. So, like, we've moved a lot. So, like, our basement was also small. Like, our house is a little bit smaller than when we were in Grantsburg or whatever. Or not Grantsburg. That was a tiny house. When we were in Green Bay. And it's like when we moved here, like, it was, like, quick. And then, like, my mom was already working and all like, you know, so there wasn't a lot of time to unpack. So, like, the basement would get like messy because all of us kids would go. There's 5 of us, so if 5 of us are looking for our one individual toy, the basement's gonna get, you know, disgusting or just thrown around. So my mom would get really mad. Well, like then as we grown up, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna help. Like I'm gonna. So like I went down there and I like spent a day and I just like organized it or whatever. My mom goes down and she's like, "What the did you just do?" And I'm like, "Well, I organized it. I like cleaned it up. It looks a little bit nice." She's like, I don't know where anything is now. She's like, you completely effed up the entire like I don't like. She's like, where's this? And I was like, well, I don't know.
So you put everything away, but didn't log it.
Yeah, exactly. Or it was like wasn't where she had put it, or like, you know. And then she got mad. And I was like, okay. I'm like, fair enough. I messed up your whole process. That's on me. If someone came into my bedroom and like moved all my stuff around, I'd be also disappointed and frustrated. So I was like, okay, I won't touch your basement. Like, I'm not gonna mess it up. I'm like, I'll just go down there, grab
where is everything?
I'm like, yep, okay, cool. I was like, that was a mistake on my part. I
thought this was gonna be such a nice surprise.
Yeah, no, but it's a little less dusty.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
hey, you're just a helpful guy. You're just trying to help out.
All right, sweet. Well, Jack, I appreciate you joining the show.
Oh, this is awesome.
This was fun. We'll definitely have to do it again. Yeah, we'll have to catch you before you head back to Illinois or something, because that'd be a drive.
Even if I'm down there, just give me a shout.
Hey, I might be going to a different state for school next fall, so if you ever want to trip somewhere, let me know.
Hey,
it'll probably be a lot sunnier than here.
That's awesome.
So, all right, cool. Well,
awesome.
Everyone, thanks for watching the show. I appreciate it for tuning in. If you made it this far, consider dropping a like, subscribe to the channel, follow the Instagram, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week. Peace. W.
That was really fun.